You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
The Fox Business Report is brought to you by Gulf Coast Bank, your local community bank. Whether your financial needs are for an individual, a business, or for the whole family, Gulf Coast Bank has the knowledge and products to serve you best. With 9 convenient locations throughout Acadiana, you're never far from a friendly Gulf Coast Bank associate.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
More people than expected filed for unemployment benefits last week. There were 224,000 new claims, up 9,000 from the revised number from the week before, but still in the range of a healthy job market. The number of continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, also rose to 1.89 million. Also, workers were getting more done on the job at the end of last year. Worker productivity rose by 3.2%. The Labor Department releases the monthly employment report for January on Friday. Investor sentiment appears to have improved this morning after the sell-off yesterday that followed Fed Chair Jerome Powell indicating an interest rate cut was unlikely in March. The Bank of England today left interest rates unchanged and indicated there'd be rate cuts coming there. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Studios.
We'll never forget their sacrifice and service to the country. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Biden just said about the 3 American soldiers killed in the attack on a U.S. base in Jordan.
Jill and I will be tomorrow at Dover Air Force Base to receive the dignified transfer of their bodies.
More than 40 other Americans were injured in that attack carried out by Iran-backed militants. Later this hour, we expect an update on the American retaliation from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin.
There are indications that the campaign, and we are told it will be a campaign, to strike Iranian assets in the region may have already begun.
The U.S. officials just confirmed to Fox that drone used in the attack in Jordan was manufactured by Iran. And Fox's Jennifer Griffin also reports from the Pentagon.
Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen have been busy escalating attacks on U.S. Navy and commercial ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden since Tuesday night. Last night, the U.S. sent F-18 Super Hornets to bomb 10 unmanned drones in Yemen that were preparing to launch.
Now, also at the National Prayer Breakfast this morning, President Biden referenced the war in Gaza when he talked about the American soldiers.
I also see the trauma, the death and destruction in Israel and Gaza, and understand that the pain and passion felt by so many here in America and around the world.
Now, on his way into the breakfast, the president told reporters to keep trying to work out a compromise with Republicans in Congress on border security as Republicans demand an end to record illegal migrant crossings.
New immigration rules are tied to a broader security spending package requested by President Biden that would resume military aid for Ukraine. So far, the administration says it does not plan to ask Congress to break up that spending bill.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. This morning, European leaders agreed to provide Ukraine with another $54 billion aid package for the war against Russia. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, to social engineering and leftist corporations, do they make you feel like we're kind of living in the twilight zone? Well, you're not alone. Now, our friends at Pure Talk, my wireless company, they know the silent majority is fed up, and I'm calling on all of those Americans, stand with a company that champions your values. The average family is saving almost $1,000 a year. Dial pound 250, say the keyword SAVE NOW. Do it now. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month from our friends at Pure Talk.
If you have a bank account, pay attention. Your savings could be at risk. The U.S. banking system is once again under extreme stress. This jeopardizes you and your family. But there is an easy way to protect yourself. Gold. Contact Noble Gold Investments today and safeguard your family's financial future. As a thank you for opening a qualified account, they'll give you a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. noblegoldinvestments.com. Gold. Safe.
South Louisiana's biggest St. Patrick's Day celebration is back. Patty in the Park, Saturday, March 16th at Park International, downtown Lafayette, presented by Bud Light. Featuring The Good Dudes, 337, DJ Digital, and the People's Champ, Paul Law.
What it do is Power Wow, I'm the People's Champ.
Tickets go on sale Monday, February 5th at eventbrite.com and all Legends locations.
Enter for your chance to win. Open up the KPEL app and hit the Patty in the Park button now.
I want to help more kids graduate from high school. Help more families learn how to budget and save.
I want my neighbors to have access to health care.
Help create opportunities for everyone in your community. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by 1% Lists Acadiana. Call Shannon LeBlanc today at 337-522-0682. Save on fees, not on service.
The Angel of the Hour sponsor is...
The Blake at Lafayette is grateful for being voted #1 again in the Best of Acadiana for assisted living and memory care. Right now, there's limited availability. No lease to sign and nurses on staff 24/7 at The Blake at Lafayette.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. As action went to a fight last night. A basketball game broke out. Anyway, how y'all all? Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. 844-766-6607 is the number. Is the Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Hotline. By the way, just for a quick update, Paul Hurd's going to join us. A lawsuit on the redistricting is now rolling, and I can't wait to see my friend Leo Morrow defend this. Paul Hurd will join us in a few minutes. I got Mr. Kenny back talking about the Blue Cross Blue Shield. I'm hearing this is really being fast forward right down our throat. So I got somebody back on that. Schumacher Holmes, and then later in the day we got American Energy Institute on with us again. So all that. But before I get to that, Joe Cunningham, who's a program director here, and I'm going to call him that, Joe saying, we are having our annual St. Jude Radiothon that's put on here in the Lafayette area. But all you people can contribute. A lot of y'all already give to St. Jude. Joe, tell us what's going on today and what people need to do.
Well, it's our annual radiothon where every station here in the building, we are asking folks to join us in being partners in hope. All you got to do is you can donate $19 a month by texting the word LIVE to 626262. And if you do that, you will be contributing to groundbreaking cancer research for pediatric cancer. But it's not just, it's for the children, it's for saving the kids. But this research is applicable in so many areas of cancer research that it's helped not just the kids, but several adults across the country. But St. Jude Children's Research Hospital researches all of these pediatric cancers. They really make a difference in the lives of children and families. It's not just the medical side of it. I mean, if you go to the full facility, you'll see they have living facilities. So a family goes there, there's a lot of treatment that they have to undergo while they're there.
But it don't cost them anything.
It doesn't cost them anything.
That's the great news.
There's living quarters for the families. There's full-on apartments for those that have to have long-term stay. There's more short-term residences for families who are there just for a little bit of time for a bit of treatment before they come back home. I mean, there's so much that they do for the families. The families don't pay a single thing for the treatment that their children are getting. So again, you can become a monthly donor by pledging just $19 a month to help kids at St. Jude fight cancer. Text the word LIVE to 626262. Click on the link from St. Jude to donate. And if you do, you get, along with the opportunity to help save a life, save a lot of lives, they have this this shirt I'm wearing, the shirt that you wore. We're going to post your picture of you.
You
wearing
going to
that
scare
shirt.
a few people?
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody saw you on TV. Just watch a fight break out. But
no, I watched the basketball.
The kinder, gentler side of Moon Griffon, the nonpartisan, non-political Moon Griffon, gets to wear this shirt saves lives T-shirt. Has all, and you get that. You also get a lovely this shirt saves lives, or this hoodie saves lives. They have a whole hoodie that you can get to if you become a donor with us today. So text the word LIVE to 626262, and you can become a partner in hope. We do this every year. We've done it for years. It is a hugely important thing for those of us in and around Louisiana and around the country. We want to really help get rid of childhood cancer.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's big. You know, Joe, from a guy that's taken a daughter to a lot of charity and Children's Hospital, me and my bride with Maddie, Texas, Arkansas, now Louisiana. This is different because they're dealing with cancer and things of that nature. I get it. But still, the trouble, the seizures, all the stuff that we go through, these people go through a lot of things we did and a lot worse.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was always on our nickel. I'm glad it's on other people's dime that they can help these people. And that's what they're doing. You are helping the kids, but you're helping the parents. So you're helping the family. And you're helping them go through something that's tough. And every time you see a miracle where somebody comes out and they don't have to go through this anymore, the kid's okay.
Yeah.
It makes it worthwhile. Even the kids that come out, go back in, or don't make it, those parents have gotten involved in this stuff too. And they do it for a reason. They know they had the best care they could possibly have gotten for their kids to the very end. Yeah. And I'll tell you something. It's something to be said about doing everything you can for your kid. Everything you can humanly possible. Leave it in the good Lord's hand. If he calls them home, he calls them home. But in a lot of cases, it's helping kids not to be called home. They get to be with their parents for a long time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You and I are both parents. You and I know the one unspoken rule is that no parent should outlive their child.
No, that's everybody says that.
And this is a way to really help fight one of the biggest causes of that in fighting childhood cancer.
Okay, it's
626262 is the number. Text the word LIVE to 626262. You'll get a link. Just tap that on your phone. You can fill out the donation form. You're donating $19 a month to become a partner in hope with St. Jude Children's Research.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. So we'll do it again. We'll bring you updates. All right, joined by Paul Hurd, attorney who's had a lot of experience dealing with redistricting and finally a lawsuit. Paul, tell us what's going on, and I'm excited about it because I think it's a map that can't be defended.
Look, good morning. Glad to be here. Glad to get this trip started. We need to get this done. We filed 12 patriots from Louisiana filed yesterday as plaintiffs saying we don't need to divide our state by race. This districting plan separates from East Baton Rouge, north and west. It separates us by race for no constitutionally justifiable reason. And so that's not, we've got integrated parishes, we've got integrated cities, we've got integrated schools, and now we're going to try to divide them by race. And the answer is that's yesterday's old history. We're living together and loving together, and we're going to try to put our communities back together as far as congressional voting.
Paul, let me ask you a question. I got it. If you don't have it, I'm sure you do, or will get it, depending on dealing with the case. But Beryl Amity, who's one of the real conservative representatives, smart, actually reads all the bills. She even told me something. They call me a nerd because I actually read all the bills. So she asked then the head of government affairs, the committee chair, Bogus Boboye. And she asked Bogus, she said, is this thing being done on race? I got the tape. Maybe you've seen it. And he said, absolutely, we're doing it. This is a racial deal. I mean, he said that. This is the guy that headed up the committee, who, by the way, shouldn't have been a committee head, but that's beside the point. Headed up the committee that said, she asked him, is this racial? She said, yes, it is. So, I mean, that's the guy that, one of the committee chairs that said it was racial. In a case like this, does that help to have something like that? Because he said it's racial.
It confirms the truth. It confirms the reality of what the state chose to do. Look, this was a mistake. This was an over reaction to the litigation that was going on. And, when you're in a long, contentious battle, you get to the middle of it and you wonder, do I just cut and run? Do I just cut and quit? And the answer was, for whatever reason, the state decided to cut and quit. And now we'll pick up their arguments as it relates to there's no justification. And what I mean by that, there's no justification under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The answer is this was racial gerrymandering for the fun and power of it. And so the good news is our Constitution protects us. We're going to go ask a 3-judge panel to look at it, confirm. We've got Mr. Boyer's quote. We've got Carter's quotes. We've got just a list. We've got all of the quotes. And those are important because it's the truth. Yeah. And the answer is, we've got this district splits Caddo, Lafayette, Rapides, East Baton Rouge, and all get a piece, and to the voters that are dissected by District 6, and then the yin and the yang of a racial split when you're sorting black and white voters out is it's segregative on both sides of the line. And that's what the racial gerrymandering constitutional jurisprudence, the reasons the Supreme Court has said we're not going to do racial gerrymandering is when you're using race in predominating over any other rational districting principles. And so therefore, race is poison in America. We're not going to use it. So anyway, that's where we are. We got 12 great people stood up, said they're ready to go, and we think we have the case, and we've got the time to eliminate this district and have a new district that will give people the ability to vote in their own communities for their own congressman.
Paul, real quick, and I got a couple more questions. I'm going to keep you one more segment because I wasn't able to get you a full thing. But real quick, before I take a break, how quick for the court case will be heard? I mean, just something they fast forward, they do it really quick? I mean, how's that work?
Oh, they can...
I'm asking. I'm just saying. It's a question.
No, I'll tell you. When I did it in the 90s, I got 22 days notice before a hearing on the merits. It can go supersonic. And remember this: the U.S. Supreme Court, when it sent the Section 2 case back, when it sent it all back to the state and the legislature and said, "You guys get this worked out so that we've got a good district for 2024." We have more than adequate time to evaluate this district, I hope, void this district, and implement a district that is rational for all voters for 2024. We've got time.
All right, let me take a quick break. Just a couple more questions. I'll let you go. A short segment when we come back. His name is Paul Hurd. Lawsuit finally happened. Told y'all what happened. We had to be patient. Finally happened. To stop the crazy district. One of the things I want to ask Paul is better if it's gerrymandered for blacks. It looked like it's gerrymandered for whites. Let me take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. When you're selling your home, one of the most important things you can even consider is, does that person really care about you? You think, they're selling everybody's home. Nicole Spellman Group, they really care about you as a person. They want you to sell your home because you want to be stress-free on this thing. And you can't get there if you don't have somebody you have confidence in. Nicole Spellman takes away the stress of selling your home. You can say goodbye to the guesswork when it comes to selling your home if you go with Nicole Spellman Group. Why? They take the guesswork out of it. They have a system called a home value estimator. It's a game changer for sellers, no doubt about it. If you go to NicoleSpellmanGroup.com, right on the homepage under sellers, click on What's My Home Value? Enter your address and find out what your home is worth in 30 seconds. That's the value of using Nicole Spellman Group. You know, that's why I trust the number one team serving the entire state of Louisiana, the Nicole Spellman Group, to sell my home. Go online, NicoleSpellmanGroup.com, or just Google Nicole Spellman Group. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a zero or near zero effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com.
This is a special
3. Welcome back. Microphone Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607 is the number. I'd like to be part of the program. Paul Hurd, my special guest. Talking about redistricting. A lawsuit has been filed. Paul, let me ask you a question, because let's just play both sides, a little devil's advocate, or at least questions. If you got a gerrymandered black district, do we have gerrymandered white districts too? I'm just kind of curious, because I didn't look at the percentage you have. What can I make an argument we got gerrymandered white districts too?
Oh, I think absolutely, and I think that's I said it. There's lots of different ways to try to say it. When we draw a segregative line, if I wanted to segregate high schools, and I drew my attendance zone so that I sent all the black students to one school and what happens? All the white students go to the other school. And so there is the segregative effect on both sides of a racially motivated division, sure. And that's what we have. So I think you're absolutely right. In the Caddo area, in the Rapides, Lafayette, East Baton Rouge, I don't know if I'm leaving another divided up parish or city, and the point being that's exactly what we end up with, and that's why it's invidious. That's why it's not good for representative government, because we have the common economics of our area, but not the economics of Caddo and East Baton Rouge are not the same. No. You've got schools in East Baton Rouge and Caddo. They're not the same. We've got culture. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Caddo, 3 different historic sources and cultures. Nothing is common except race, and it does do exactly what you're talking about, and that is isolate one another from each other. All our common connections based on locality and who we go to school with, who we play on a football team or a basketball team with, all those are destroyed and ignored, and all we're going to do is check your birth certificate, and that's just pitiful.
Paul, if everything I hear is that nobody sees how this thing is wins in court. Nobody. And I'm not saying it can't, but nobody sees. Let's say you try and they throw it out and say nope. So do we start all over again? Can the legislature, the governor say, you know what, we already got a district. This is our district. Y'all want to draw a district, you draw it. Because it seems to me, by just looking at this, a judge in their right mind could not draw a district to get another minority district in this state without gerrymandering. Is that statement way off?
No, we assert that that's exactly a fundamental geographic population fact is that you cannot draw a reasonably compact second majority minority district because we have black population and white population integrated with one another,
like it should
north of Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way to do it.
Yep. Gee.
And look, the real answer is, again, depending on how quickly we can convince the court that this district can't stand, then the court will make sure of one thing. This is a voter lawsuit. We're going to. This is our attempt to make sure our voters, black and white, have understandable, functioning congressional districts for the election of 2024. We have more than enough time for the court to do it, or the legislature. I mean, the legislature could get an opportunity to fix this, but the judges will make sure that we don't delay again and the voters lose.
The elected officials have fixed it. It's the district we have now. Why did elected officials got to do anything else but just say we stick into what we have?
Because the Constitution says that the legislature always has the authority. The court has the authority to make sure they do it right. No, I mean, the Constitution.
Well, the one we got now, Paul, the one we got now is right. The one they redrew. I'm talking about the guys and ladies that are serving now.
The new
right.
one.
This new one they drew is wrong. The one we have now, where we got our elected officials in play, that's the one. They need to stick to it. If the judge want to mess it up, then let them gerrymander a district.
Oh, I don't think they'll gerrymander one. I think they'll put back compact traditional districts that make sense to our voters in our different regions and cities throughout the state of Louisiana.
Well, let me know. Well, I'm sure we'll follow it, but let me know when the trial's scheduled, because I'm sure everybody's going to have their eyes on what's going to take place, because the district map that currently has been drawn, the new one that Cleo Fields is excited to run in again, is absolutely one of the most gerrymandered messes I ever seen in my whole life.
Well, it's racial. It's
racially motivated. 100%.
It's a racial gerrymander that violates our Constitution.
Run.
And it hinders our voters.
Yeah, got to run. Thanks, Paul. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you.
All right, take a break. More to come. Moon Griffon Show. Don't go nowhere. Hey, folks, my friend at Schumacher Homes, dedicated to making sure the custom home building is within reach for everyone. Your custom-built home. And Schumacher Homes does a great job of building custom homes. They're going to provide you with a dedicated team of specialists who give you choices and tools necessary to create your home and your dream home. The new year is a perfect time, right now, perfect time to take the first steps toward realizing your dream home. Schedule your free, no-obligation design and pricing meeting today by calling or visiting SchumacherHomes.com, SchumacherHomes.com, celebrating over 3 decades of crafting affordable custom homes. Schumacher Homes has always made it a goal to make the home building journey enjoyable, simple, and hassle-free. They're going to provide a devoted team to build your home. They're going to keep you up to date. Any tricks in the armor, they're going to come right to you and say, hey, we got a problem. We got a situation. Schumacher Homes will make it like you want it. SchumacherHomes.com, and let the professionals give you a free, no-obligation design and pricing meeting right now. Folks, remember the name All Field Equipment, allfieldequipment.com. When I say All Field, that's ALLfield.com. All Field Equipment, founded in 2016 by my good friend, Mr. Bill Allen, with over 50 years' experience in the oil and gas industry. Hey, this is a great company to do business with. Whether it's production equipment, control valves, controller, glyco pumps, chemical pumps, chokes, Wilden pumps, Barton recorders, Allfield has new, rebuilt, and parts. Allfield handles some of the industry's top brands such as Norseal, Fisher, and Kimray. On the supply side, Allfield has anything from Q-tips to appliances to general Allfield supplies. Allfield is one of the largest suppliers of bottled water in the Gulf. And remember, Allfield never changes transportation. Like the name says, Allfield has it all, covering the Architects area and the Gulf of Mexico. Allfield Equipment, 337-837-1003, 337-837-1003. Hello, Acadiana.
The Angel of the Hour sponsor is
The Blake at Lafayette is grateful for being voted #1 again in the best of Acadiana for assisted living and memory care. Right now, there's limited availability. No lease to sign and nurses on staff 24/7 at The Blake at Lafayette.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Microphone Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607 is the Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, we're joined by Mr. Henry Kinney. We've been talking about Blue Cross Blue Shield sale. Mr. Kinney, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Griffon.
Well, I got something in the mail the other day, and I was opening it up, and it was showing how much money I'm going to get if I agree to the sale. They're going to give me $3,000. And I thought
you probably are going to get a lot less than $3,000.
Well, I don't.
Represents.
I don't want the $3,000. I want my insurance company. I could care less about $3,000.
You know, it's three pieces of silver, but you give up everything. You give up your mutual managed health care, and they don't tell you that for your $3,000, they're going to give $30,000 to their own little hand-picked board with no sense of restriction or responsibility. So you can, it's very important that you read through that as the first thing they said. Here, sign up, you get $3,000.
Well, you know what happens is like reading the headlines in a newspaper. They're written for the headlines and the first few words, and after that, all the details. And I almost puked, and I said, you know what, we need to talk about that. I had a call this morning out of Baton Rouge, and the guy said, Moon, they fast forwarded this. They're trying to get this done ASAP. Now, when Governor Landry was elected, he made the comment that he was against it. But I hadn't heard nothing from him yet. And I was just wondering where does he stand on this. I'd like to see the governor come out against it.
I think given your audience and given where the governor's from, I think it's an incredibly important question, and I would certainly suggest that people from Acadia reach out and ask that. In the fall of 2023, then Attorney General Landry came out with a very strong statement that said, do not go forward with this plan until we can have a study. But there has not yet been a study. Mm-hmm. So the question is, where is Liz Murrill? And I have a tremendous respect for her and for the governor. But where are they weighing in now on this deal? It should not have gone forward. And by the way, to talk about fast track, this thing came out right before Christmas, and the hearing is set for the 2 days after Mardi Gras. So you have to ask yourself some questions about the train leaving this train station for the railroading.
Well, let me ask you a question, because something I hadn't found out yet, Mr. Kinney, and I thought it went back maybe to Temple, Tim Temple, who's an insurance commissioner. Who makes the decision? Who's the final authority on this sale, if I can ask you?
Well, you ask all the good questions. Only one man, Tim Temple, not the Department of Insurance, not a court, not a department, not anything but Tim Temple. So Tim Temple, the way the law is written today, can make the decision or will make the decision. And then the only appeal rights we have are subject to Tim Temple. Tim Temple sets the appeal bond, and what's even worse than that, if we lose with Tim Temple and we go to court to appeal this, we're liable for the insurance company's legal fees. That's about as awful an appellate process as is known to man. Okay?
You say we're liable. I guess to go to court is somebody that has a policy going to have to file suit?
Well, I can tell you I'm going to file suit if we lose with Commissioner Temple, and we've already attacked the appellate process and waiting to hear and argue that in the federal court. But what I'm saying is one side gets to appeal with no bond or no anything. That's the Blue Cross. If I want to appeal, I've got to put up, a $500 million bond.
Who the hell wrote that? Who the hell wrote that?
Louisiana legislature.
You told me everything I needed to know.
Yeah.
You told me everything I needed to know.
It's horrible as it gets.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
God have mercy.
Going back to what you mentioned, Moon, if I could just mention this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Is these folks have come back with two new wrinkles to their offer to everybody. They've offered to put Tim Temple. They're going to put Tim Temple on the board of this foundation. Okay, so he's going to get an appointment to this board that's going to oversee giving away $165 million of the members' money each year. So they've said to the guy that's got to make the decision, you're going to get a board seat. Now they say, well, you won't be able to get paid, but you'll be able to sit at the inner sanctum of this board. They have also offered the governor a paid position on this board.
I saw that.
Now, not the governor, but the governor can name his representative to get on this board, and it's a paid position.
But
with a tremendous amount of power and influence.
But Mr. Kenny, by that time it's over. We done sold the thing. It's over. And by the way, Tim Temple, and I know Tim, and my question to you is, what diligence is he doing to make this decision? And I mean that, and I don't mean it ugly. I mean, what is he doing to be able to make this decision for us if he gets to play God in this position? And he gets to play God because it sounds like to me, unless you can go to court and someone like you file a suit, he's gonna be the jury, the judge, and the bailiff and everybody.
Moon, he has done nothing.
That's what bothers me.
The former commissioner engaged two excellent experts that completely trashed the deal, and Blue Cross, by the way. Those were hired as impartial experts. Commissioner Temple has not done anything to engage his own experts. He does plan on using the experts that Commissioner Donlin has done.
Sure.
But I'm very concerned that he has been a participant and allowed this railroad job to come, to work on the day after Mardi Gras. In fact, it's Valentine's Day. So I have no way to prejudge him, but I do know this, that he's been offered a seat on the board and he's allowing this thing to go forward at breakneck speed. So those are things that I wish he would have done differently.
Yeah, can you say if he does the wrong thing here? Can you imagine when it goes south? And I'll let you talk about the company and all that stuff. When they come back and say, hey, we got to really raise the premiums, good luck at re-election. I mean, I'm serious with you. And I'm looking out ahead, but right now, let's stick to what we got to stick to. He gets to play God, and it seemed like to me he would show a little wisdom by getting involved and making comments and asking a lot of questions. Now, maybe he'll tell you and me, Moon and Mr. Kenny, you guys don't know what I'm talking about. I'm working on this every day. He might say that, but I hadn't seen anything said.
Well, what I would sort of be satisfied with if he would said, I have not sat down with the other side. Okay. Nobody from Blue Cross has contacted me to cause me to have a prejudged idea of what's going on. So I also believe that, there's 1.8 million people in this state that will be directly affected by this decision. That's probably far more people that are going to be affected by homeowners insurance. So the reality is this is a decision that Tim Temple has to own, and the public has to understand that it is his decision. So it's a position that generally most people don't pay attention to. But if you have 1.8 million policyholders, they should be paying attention to it.
Oh, no doubt about it. Let me take a quick break. We'll come back and got some more questions for you. Henry Kenny, my special guest, Blue Cross Blue Shield sale, got calls this morning. And Moon, they're getting ready to ram this through. We're going to see. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. From the humbling beginning, Dino Hardwoods is striving to provide superior service and quality products for their customers. Hey, I know Charles Altman. He does a great job. If If you're looking for lumber, Dino Hardwood stocks a large selection of domestic and import hardwood lumber and cypress. You ought to see that stuff. Exotic lumber, they got that as well. Trust in Dino Hardwood when it comes to your exotic lumber needs right now. Molding, plywood, paint, and L products, they are ready for you. They got 3 great locations. The corporate office is right here in Broussard, Louisiana. There's an office in Shreveport on 2801 Valley View Drive and one in Tyler, Texas, 12492 Highway 155 North. Hey, if you're looking for something different and something new and somebody who will service you, it's Dino Hardwoods. I'm telling you, don't forget Dino Hardwoods. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Great locations. They can service you. They can deliver. DinoHardwoods.com. Check out this great Louisiana company. Oh, man, I love me some Superior Grill. Superior Grill, the best Mexican food in the state of Louisiana, bar none, baby. They are the best, and you're going to love them, too. They got great drinks and food, and the atmosphere is second to none. They know what they're doing. They know how to serve. Hey, folks, you do know they cater. They do cater. Superior Grill, located in New Orleans, Shreveport, and Baton Rouge, Lafayette right around the corner. You're going to love Superior Grill. You're going to love the atmosphere. You're going to love the taste. They can handle anything you got. Folks, they got happy hours. They really serve the people. And you're going to love Superior Grill. I love it. You're going to love it. I cannot wait to go to Superior Grill. I've been going to Superior Grill now for 29 years. Let me tell you, I know all about Superior Grill. And I want good Mexican food. I'm going to Superior Grill. I want to see you there. We're going to have a blast. Hello, Acadiana. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moog Fawn Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. Don't forget the St. Jude Radiothons going right now. Text LIVE to the number 626262. LIVE 626262 and click the link to become a partner. And hope you have never given to St. Jude. It is a blessing to be able to give to St. Jude. All that going on today. All right, I'm a special guest, Mr. Henry Kinney. Mr. Kinney, I guess nobody can stop this before it takes place unless, and I'm just going to guess, you have one or two options, and you may tell me there's only one of them. The governor would come out against it. Or Mr. Tim Temple would say, you know what, we're going to stop this and check into this. Is there any reason for them not to at least hold this off until they can look at this a lot stronger? And number two, why is Blue Cross having to bribe people? And it's not just the policyholders. It's board members and other people. We hadn't talked about the money some of them are going to get.
Well, there is a third point that I'm very happy you're raising. The members have out now votes, the proxy votes. Yeah. It's very important that they vote no. If anybody who's listening today has a proxy that has not yet been sent out, they need to vote no, because it's still within the membership's vote to say no. Now, interestingly, they say it's only the people that show up on the meeting date of February 20th that will determine the quorum for the 2/3. That's not our interpretation. But the bottom line is the third way is to vote no on any proxy or vote that you've been given by Blue Cross.
Well, what is there any way that the governor or Tim Temple could stop the process right now and say, we just don't have enough information on this, we're going to slow down? And why are they rushing to do this? Why does this have to be done today and not tomorrow or the next week or next month?
This is, as I said earlier, this is probably one of the most important, greatest effect pieces of decision-making that's going to happen this year. Yes, Mr. Temple could stop it tomorrow, and the governor can pick up the phone and stop it also. And we're certainly, the governor has not, I don't think, publicly taken a position, I think I would have been then. I'm guessing the governor's offended by the offer of the board seat. But the governor and Ms. Morrill last time stopped it dead by saying there needed to be more studying done. So I would certainly want and for the governor to weigh in and try to stop the process now. The governor is very popular and very strong, and I think it would mean a great deal to everybody. I know the doctors came out day before yesterday on January the 30th with an incredible blistering attack on the plane. So all of the organization that represents doctors in our state have come out against it. So that ought to tell you, if your doctor's against it, isn't that a great source of wisdom and information on why this is a bad deal for everybody?
Well, if the governor-elect pushed it back when he was just governor-elect, I think he would have a lot of power to do it. Also, the letter you're talking about was the Louisiana State Medical Society. 4,000 physicians they represent. They basically came out and argued sometimes too big is really too big. And so they stand up. And the only reason I threw that out is I just don't know what to tell people to call. It seems like to me they ought to be calling Tim Temple more than anybody. You're not going – but the governor and them need to hear from everybody too. But he's got to know this is going on because just like you just said and pointed out, this is the biggest thing going on right now in our state this year is this.
No question. There's a couple of things that people can look at. There's a website called violationtracker.com, and that shows that since 2000, that Elevance has paid over $1.5 billion in fines, and also they are currently the subject of a United States Department of Justice Medicare fraud case in New York City in the federal court system. Lastly, they just lost 1 star in the Medicare rating system. Mm-hmm. So we are going from Blue Cross in Louisiana, which has a 4.5 star rating, is almost as good as you can get, solid gold. We'd be going to Elevance, which has a 3.5 star rating. So it's difficult for me to understand how you can say that this is good for the people of Louisiana. One last thing, Lou. Nobody can guarantee anything past your policy year. When Blue Cross says, Elevance is going to do this, and this for you, that's not true. Elevance can do something for the next 9 or 10 months, but after that, they can pull out of the state so fast that it make your head swim. So these are fantasy representations about what Elevance is going to do.
Let me ask you another question. You talked about it last time about some board members. I know that if I say, yes, let's do it, I get $3,000 or less, but it don't matter. I don't want none of it. What about some of these board members? Some of these people are going to get really, really big money. Has that changed? Has it gotten worse?
No.
Can you explain that to people?
Yes, there are 12 members of the board. 7 of them, if this thing goes through that they voted for, are going to get over not less than $1 million. 7 of them are going to get $1 million in their pocket, not less than that. And then 4 of them go to this board that's going to oversee $3.1 billion that testified in the legislature that they want to be paid the same amount as the trustees for the 10 largest foundations in the United States of America. They're going to be paid that for the rest of their natural lives. It is a job that has no restriction on, you don't need to run for anything. There are no members that can vote you out. You're on it for life. Not only that, you can add whomever you choose to the board. There are no restrictions.
Here's another question
on this board.
Here's another question. Has Blue Cross sold to Elevance in any other state that you know of?
Yes.
Okay. What happened when that happened? You got any info on that?
Yeah, you can go back to that violation tracker and look at the violations. I can also say this, that Blue Cross, the last 3 states that Elevance tried the same game plan, they lost. They were turned down. I think it was Kansas, North Carolina, and if I recall, Maryland.
But what about the ones that did this happen? What about the ones that did happen? What happened with the?
The service is, as I said, that's where they lost the stars, and that's where they have suffered the largest fines and penalties.
Did people go read about that anywhere, Mr. Henry?
Yeah, I suggest this violation tracker, and it's so easy to Google Elevance or Anthem, which was their name before. Okay, it is incredibly easy for somebody to do that and to look them up. And look up, did Elevance lose Medicare stars last year? Mm-hmm. And a significant portion of the members of Blue Cross here are Medicare participants. So it's very difficult for me to understand why a member would want to go to a company that's on the downside for providing Medicare services for its membership.
I want to know why a guy like Tim Temple, just getting in, been wanting to be the insurance commissioner for a long time, would buy into this quick into his administration, which is less than a month. Less than a month into it, would he want to buy into this without backing up and saying, hold up. Listen, Mr. Kenney, you've been great. Henry Kenney, thank you so much, and let's see what happens.
And Moon, thank you very much for your interest. Appreciate it.
All right, no, God bless you. Thank you so much. All right,
okay,
quick break, folks. More to come. Moon Griffon Show right after this. Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.1 and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.1 and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.1.
Show that's not immune to facts. The Dan Bongino Show here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
The Angel of the Hour sponsor is?
The Blake at Lafayette is grateful for being voted #1 again in the Best of Acadiana for assisted living and memory care. Right now, there's limited availability. No lease to sign and nurses on staff 24/7 at the Blake at Lafayette.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Financial Studio.
An apology and a warning. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. More on why he's sorry in a moment, but first.
The president will not tolerate attacks on American troops, and neither will I.
The attack by Iran-backed militants Sunday at a U.S. base in Jordan using a drone manufactured in Iran killed 3 American soldiers.
And we will respond when we choose, where we choose, and how we choose.
Now the apology over Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's controversial hospitalization last month.
We did not handle this right, and I did not handle this right. I should have told the president about my cancer diagnosis. I should have also told my team and the American public.
And Austin says he continues with his recovery and urges other men to get screened for prostate cancer. Now back to the victims of the militant attack. President Biden will be there tomorrow when the remains of the 3 soldiers killed arrive at Dover Air Force Base.
They risked it all, and we'll never forget the sacrifices and service to our country, that the dozens of service members who were wounded and are recovering now.
The president also talked about the war in Gaza at the National Prayer Breakfast.
Not only do we pray for peace, we are actively working for peace, security, dignity, for the Israeli people and the Palestinian people.
The president will also issue an executive order aimed at Israeli settlers who attack Palestinians in the West Bank. Now, the U.S. Navy has hit other Iran-backed militants in Yemen, knocking out drones about to be launched in and around the Red Sea.
And in a historic first, on Tuesday night, a Houthi cruise missile came within 1 mile of the USS Gravely guided missile destroyer, just seconds away from impact. This is the closest a Houthi missile has come to a U.S. warship. The USS Gravely used its close-in weapon systems to shoot down the missile.
That's Jennifer Griffin. America's listening to Fox News.
Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. People who put their lives on the line for our country and our communities need your help now more than ever. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good in their honor. Never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices of this country's heroes and their families. Join me in donating $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-887-1010. That's 800-887-COM.
South Louisiana's biggest St. Patrick's Day celebration is back. Patty in the Park, Saturday, March 16th at Park International, downtown Lafayette, presented by Bud Light, featuring The Good News, 337, DJ Digital, and the People's Champ, Paul Law.
What it do is Power Wow, I'm the People's Champ.
Tickets go on sale Monday, February 5th at Eventbrite.com and all Legends locations.
Enter for your chance to win. Open up the KPEL app and hit the Patty in the Park button now.
The Angel of the Hour sponsor is
Fisher Early Childhood Development Center is now registering for summer and fall 2024. Give your child the foundation they deserve. Learn more at FisherPreschool.com, educating Acadiana's children for over 60 years.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Welcome back to Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you talking about the issues that matter to you right here in the great state of Louisiana and beyond. Anyway, appreciate Mr. Kenny, Henry Kenny joining us, Paul Hurd on the redistricting, and just everything that's happening. We're trying to cover it for you. And right now what's happening is we're having a St. Jude Radiothon. Joe Cunningham, you've heard on this program before many times. He's heading up to pop on the radio station.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, what we got? Tell us a little bit more about it.
So, we do this every year. We've done it for several years, this St. Jude Radiothon. We want your listeners across the state of Louisiana to join us in becoming partners in hope. And to do so, all they need to do is text the word LIVE, L-I-V-E, to 626262. Tap on the link, you get there, sign up. $19 a month. You get to be a partner in hope. You get to help save the lives of kids. I mean, you and I have talked about off the air. You and I have talked on the air about how important it is to take care of our kids, just in a communal way. In our community, in the state political world, we've talked about all sorts of issues that we constantly harp on in terms of protecting our kids. This is one way that we can have a huge impact on the lives of our children here in Louisiana. And there are a lot of Louisiana families that do utilize the services that are provided either directly, they go to St. Jude or one of its satellite locations, even here in the state, or just the research that St. Jude does. It's an open. St. Jude is an open book. If they do any research on it, that research is shared across the medical community, no cost to anybody. So it's not just you have to go to St. Jude to benefit from what they do. If you've had a cancer that's been treated, there's a good chance, whether it's pediatric or not, that the treatment was in some way influenced by the research done at St. Jude. And so that's why we ask folks to be part of this radiothon, to be a partner in hope, and to text the word LIVE, live, to 626262. And we do here at KPEL, here at Town Square Media, we have to thank our sponsors who have made this just such an incredible journey, not just this year, but in every year. This year, we have some great sponsors. Market Eats and McLean Homes have been fantastic sponsors here at Town Square Media. Just absolutely wonderful sponsors. We also have Home Furniture Plus Bedding. They're the ones sponsoring our phone line. So again, 626262. If you text that number, text the word live to that number. Home Furniture Plus Bedding is helping to make that possible. And Eagle Pest Control is another great sponsor that is helping us out this year. I mean, and these are all, they don't have to do this. They don't have to give up their hard-earned money as Louisiana businesses, as local and Louisiana businesses, but they want to be a part of supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And I think that is ultimately one of the best things you can do as somebody who is a business owner, to be able to take the blessings that you have.
A lot of them.
Yeah. You are blessed with the business. You are blessed with a loyal customer base. You are blessed with the means to be able to give back to the community. And that is just so important. We're ever so thankful for it.
Yep. No doubt about it. All right. 626262 live.
Absolutely. And
they can get you taken care of.
$19 a month. You get to become a partner in hope. And you get the very snazzy This Shirt Saves Lives t-shirt that Moon is wearing, and even took a picture and we posted it on our Facebook page.
It's funny though, I took the picture, they cut my head off and just put the shirt on.
We put Walker's
I guess it was the physique.
We put Walker's head on, a younger, more youthful look.
I don't blame you for that. All right, Joe, appreciate it. We'll do it again at probably about 11:30.
Sounds good. Thanks,
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, 844-766-6607. You know, somebody had a great question on the Blue Cross thing. Can a sale of Blue Cross take place? In other words, share my medical information without me signing a HIPAA release on those records? It's a good question. I don't know. Bob writes out of Baton Rouge. Bob, I think it's a great question. I don't know if I've ever been associated with a healthcare company where they changed ownership. I know we've done it with other stuff. But that's a great question. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people, and I'm one of them. I mean, my Blue Cross Blue Shield's been good. It's expensive as hell for me, but if it's something I could do something about the cost, I would. I can't change that, but I feel like that company has been a really good company through the years. They have, and we counted on them. And you know, when you start hearing all this stuff, here's the big question. I'd like to know what Governor Landry is on this. I know he said he's against it. But is he coming out against it? And number two, if Tim Temple, why does it have to be done today or tomorrow? Why can't this be pushed back where everybody has an opportunity to look at it? And number three, why is it that the company that is coming in that wants Blue Cross Blue Shield to sell to them, how come they're buying everybody? I mean, I don't know what you think about me getting $3,000. I don't care about that. I don't care about $3,000 and not knowing what I'm getting. I'm different than a lot of Louisianans. I don't think you just throw me money and I'll do it. A lot of people do that. Politicians do it. And then some of these people are going to be filthy rich doing this. Some of them get to be board members for life. Why, if I'm convinced that I'm a good company, and I want to buy a company, why do I have to persuade all the people that are making a decision by putting money in front of them if I'm a good company? Can they not sell that company on the merit of the company of Elevance? Can they not sell what they're selling on their merit? They've got to go out and, what do they think one thing about them, they look political. And they know in Louisiana, all you got to do is wave $1. Could you imagine waving $3,000 up in front of Craig Romero money bags in the Can you imagine waving money in front of people in Louisiana? Man, that's the easiest thing to do, especially the good old boy network politicians. Man, you wave $1 in front of them, it don't take much, $3,000. If Craig Romero will run down $5 blowing down the, can you imagine $3,000 blowing? Somebody gonna get hurt. He gonna get his money, but people like that got them all over the state of Louisiana, and so I'm going, why? Well, they figured out Louisiana we can go in there and buy a bunch of people. Now look, I only know what I know, and you only know what you know. But it seems to me, and I've been told this, and I was told this several times this morning by people before I got in touch with Mr. Henry, that they're putting this on a fast track to get this over with. It seems like to me the more we know about it, the more upsetting it could be and disappointed we could be that Blue Cross sells. So what you do is the first time they tried to pass this, I mean, they were rolling in it, and it just took Governor-elect at the time, Jeff Landry, saying, I'm against it. But is he still against it? I'm not trying to put it on Jeff because it seems like to me Tim Temple is our new insurance commissioner who wanted this job. He ran and got beaten. He ran again. Nobody ran against him. So out of 4.7 million people in Louisiana, now everybody wouldn't qualify to run. He's the only man that stood up and said he wants to run. And this is going to be his first decision? You know, remember he told us we can lower auto rates and home rates and all this stuff we need to do, and then we got this to deal with. One of the things I would ask Tim and I need to call him, one of the things I'd ask Tim is, Tim, can you guarantee when this company come in that our rates are not going to go up and skyrocket? And I can promise you he won't answer that because he can't guarantee that. Nobody knows what the market's going to bring. But folks, you know, if I'm just telling you, if a lot of people, state workers and all that, have Blue Cross Blue Shield. And if you don't understand, this is the funny thing about it is, what I'm talking about today, most of us, including me, we don't understand everything. Well, if you don't understand it, the worst thing you can do is go make a decision on something you don't understand. I mean, the first thing you have to do is understand before you agree to something like this. Okay, whatever you want to do, just go ahead and do it. Well, that's not good enough in something like this. We have to be able to understand what's going on. I mean, we have to. And right now, I don't think many people even know what's going on. I think this has been done behind the scenes. I'm watching people be actually bought off to do it. So the worst thing you can do is agree to something you really don't agree to. And how do you agree to something if you don't understand it? You know, like when you buy a truck, a car, you go out there and say, okay, it's $40,000 after tax, title, license, after down payments, whatever, your truck, you're going to finance $30,000. Okay, and they put it on a sheet of paper. And you notice your note is $500 a month, whatever it is. You know that. You understand it. You sign off on it. But what if they said, hey, I'm selling you a car. And you say, that's the one I want. And you say, well, how much does it cost? And the guy said, don't worry about it. Got all the paperwork. All you got to do is sign it. Would you be willing to say, I like the car. I just sign it. Then you find out, you get your first truckload in, and it's $837. And you go, I can't afford that. Why'd you sign off on it? Because the guy told me to sign off on it. But did you understand what you were doing? No. What idiot does that? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say, well, I like the vehicle. That's great. What's the cost? How much it costs? How much is it going to cost me per month? How much is it going to cost me total vehicle? I mean, you're going to ask a bunch of questions. Don't you think we ought to be asking a bunch of questions with Blue Cross Blue Shield and its elements people? I mean, I think we should. If you're willing to go buy a vehicle and don't care with none of the costs, none of the interest rates, nothing, go do that. I'm not doing that, and I don't think we ought to do it for Blue Cross Blue Shield. And Tim Temple, I think, smarter than that. So let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. We'll take a break. Be right back. Line One is a business telecom provider. Line One specializes in cloud-based communication with superior customer service. If you're frustrated with phone bills you can't understand, endless hold time to customer support, and phone system that is not meeting your needs, then you need to go to Line.one and schedule a free consultation to advance your business phone system. Line One, technology with a human touch. Go to Line.one and tell them Moon sent you. Again, that is Line.one. Oh, Shucks, you've been hearing me brag about Shucks. Been going there for many, many years. Shucks does a great job. If you like seafood, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. I'm telling you right now, there's shrimp, there's oysters, there's fish, all fresh every day right off the boat. So if you want something fresh and you want fresh seafood, you got to go to Shucks. Don't forget, if you're having a party, call Shucks. Let them cater the event for you. Or you can go pick it up. Shucks, they're waiting on you. If you want a great time and you want great food, you got to go to Shucks in Abbeville. Shucks. Oh, they're good. Folks, I want to tell you about one of my new advertisers, Adapt Concepts AC Service Repairs. Oh, serving all of Acadiana, surrounding areas, and the Gulf of Mexico for over 6 years. Full-service AC and heating company, repairs, installation, and preventive maintenance, which is very, very important. Installation service, professional quality services, focus on creating value for you. Terms of certified technician, 24/7 customer service, and free consultation. I'm talking Adapt Concepts, AC Service Repairs. You want the professionals, you want the best, this is them. Purchase a qualified high-efficient system for maintenance, plus get a free 12-year parts and labor warranty. Wow, don't you want to know about that? Call them at 337-408-8202. That's 337-408-8202. Or go to the website, adapt-ac.com. That's adapt-ac.com. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Mooger Phone Show. Great to have you with us. Rock and roll time, 844-766-6607. It's Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management Hotline. You know, I might do that next time I buy a vehicle. I might act like I'm a Blue Cross guy. You know, go to the car dealership. Say, man, I like that truck right there. I drive that truck around. And they say, well, what do you think? I'm going to tell you, I don't want to know the cost. Just write the paperwork up. I'll sign it. Just buy whatever they get. Like the truck, that's all that matters. And they're going to give me $3,000 back. So I just go sign that contract, give it up there. And about 2 weeks later, I get a deal in the mail, and it says, my truck notes in. $1,233.14 per month. Then I go, what the hell is this? I can't afford this. I pick up and call the Ford dealership back and tell them, I can't afford this. Well, no, you came in and signed the papers. Yeah, but I never read them. Yeah, our fault. We're not going to be able to do that if Blue Cross Blue Shield goes away. We're not going to be able to say, well, Elephants came in here, but they ain't doing what we said. My race just went up, but didn't you sign off to it? No, I didn't worry about it. I signed off to it, but I didn't really read it. Same thing. Don't make any sense. Tim Temple needs to hear from people. Tim needs to walk away from this deal and say, look, there's not enough information out there. We want to make sure everybody's informed. What's the rush? Why do they have to do that today? I think these are legit questions, folks, dealing with Blue Cross Blue Shield. I ain't ran across one person yet that thought this was going to be a great idea. Not one. Not one. So why would Tim Temple do this? All right. Take a phone call. We'll go to Norman. Norman, how you doing, sir?
Moon, I'm doing pretty good. Funny you should be. I'm coming out to the country to check on my cows. I hear Tim Temple on coming in and going. I stop. I don't listen to every word, I got to confess. But this morning I was at a meeting, and Tim Temple's name was mentioned by a retired insurance company executive. I've been dealing with his family since I got my first car in 1964, so I think he's a fairly righteous dude. He thinks Tim Temple is a good guy. And this is my takeaway from what I've been hearing.
Hold on, can I tell you this, Norman? Norman.
This is a trap.
Norman, this is nothing to do with if you're a good guy or a bad guy. Nothing.
No,
Go ahead.
wait. That's where I'm moving. I'm moving on, Moon. I'm moving on. This is a trap. First place, there's ethical considerations here. The Board of Ethics ought to be involved. The guy's not happy with the deal. Apparently, I don't hear it. I don't know everything, and I don't understand it like you. But the Board of Ethics got to be involved because somebody's benefiting that shouldn't benefit, and that's at that point. I think we're in agreement that things ain't right.
Well, Norman,
what do you think?
Norman, everybody's benefiting. I'm one of those guys that are a policy holder, and I'm a policy holder as in I get to vote. I get $3,000 if I take the deal. If you're on the board, you get money. If you Tim Temple, you get a deal. If you're the governor, you get a deal. Everybody gets a deal.
Stop right there.
Okay.
If you're an elected official and you get a deal from something involving your job, that's where I got issues. I don't know if you got issues. Are you happy with what's going on?
No, I think they ought to shut it down.
Well,
and we ought to make sure everybody is involved and informed about it as possibly best we can. And I don't think they're giving the governor pick a board guy, they're giving Temple to pick a board guy, serve on the board. I don't think none of that ought to happen.
Well, so at this point in time, Moon, we're in agreement. If somebody is going to benefit that's under the Board of Ethics, it shouldn't happen. I'd like to have $3,000 too, because I spent a lot of money on insurance just like you.
Well, that $3,000.
If we're buying people off by giving them positions, what are we doing?
Yeah, $3,000 would pay a premium for 1 month for me.
But I could probably go 6 months with mine, but we're on the same page here. So you want your $3,000?
Nope.
You mind Tim Temple getting money?
I don't want $3,000. I want us to hold off and wait. I'd like to see the governor stand up and say, I'm against this, and until we can work something else out, this ain't the way to do it. And like I said,
I don't understand it, and I think we're on the same page.
Yeah. All right, Norm, appreciate it. That's the problem.
Okay, bye.
Most of us don't understand everything that's going on. It just, to me, makes no sense at all. And I think Tim shouldn't make a major mistake in his first thing that he's going to do as the insurance commissioner. I think people need to get to Tim Temple and say, look, you need to halt this, brother. This is going to be on you. Because according to the gentleman I had on, Mr. Henry, earlier, Kenny, he said it's on him. He gets to play God, judge, jury, the whole thing. We'll be right back. Folks, you hear me brag about a new advertisement. South Star Urgent Care is the name you need to know. Listen, you look up, you're in the middle of the night, you're looking, God, where do we go? South Star Urgent Care. They open on weekends, they open at night, they can get you taken care of. If you're sick, if you're feeling bad, maybe you coughing, dehydrated, fever, flu, fractures, South Star Urgent Care wants to service you, and they're going to treat you like you want to be treated. They're going to get you in, get you out. You're not going to sit in a dark waiting room for a bunch of times. South Star Urgent Care. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. You know, you can register before you go and set your appointment. Hey, it's really cool. These folks at South Star greet you with a genuine smile and make you feel very comfortable. Folks, you're looking for the perfect urgent care? It's South Star Urgent Care. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. South Star Urgent Care. It's the urgent care you need. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. Oh, man, I love me some Superior Grill. Superior Grill, the best Mexican food in the state of Louisiana, bar none, baby. They are the best, and you're going to love them, too. They got great drinks and food, and the atmosphere is second to none. They know what they're doing. They know how to serve. Hey, folks, you do know they cater. They do cater. Superior Grill, located in New Orleans, Shreveport, and Baton Rouge, Lafayette right around the corner. You're going to love Superior Grill. You're going to love the atmosphere. You're going to love the taste. They can handle anything you got. Folks, they got happy hours. They really serve the people. And you're going to love Superior Grill. I love it. You're going to love it. I cannot wait to go to Superior Grill. I've been going to Superior Grill now for 29 years. Let me tell you, I know all about Superior Grill. And I want good Mexican food, I'm going to Superior Grill. I want to see you there. We're going to have a blast.
The Angel of the Hour sponsor is
Fisher Early Childhood Development Center is now registering for summer and fall 2024. Give your child the foundation they deserve. Learn more at FisherPreschool.com, educating Acadiana's children for over 60 years.
This hour brought to you by Matthew James Tax and Wealth Management. Online at MatthewJames.com.
Yeah. Blue Cross Blue Shield. Been on Blue Cross Blue Shield a long time. Got some great workers there. I ain't ran across anybody that didn't like what Blue Cross Blue Shield did or does. I just, and I understand, I understand sales and money and things of that nature. Just it's nice to hear. I just heard from my Blue Cross Blue Shield guy. Not going to tell you what he said. I want him to lose his job. He's probably going, oh, God. He didn't say anything. It was a private letter to me. I appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. All right. 844-766-6607. Let's go to the phone line. Les, Shreveport, Louisiana. Les, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, sir. How are you today?
Hanging in there. Thanks for being part of the program. Hey, you got to turn your radio down. Hey, Les, turn that radio down.
I'm sorry.
Turn it off.
Okay, I'm sorry. How's that? Okay, I just wanted to call and see how your wife was doing. I wanted to change things up a little bit, see how your bride was doing.
My bride's doing great, man. She's wide open, moving around great. Everything's going good with her. She just had a little setback, and they told her 3 to 6 months, and she's been rolling now for a week, so it took about 6-7 weeks. She's doing great. Thanks for asking.
Well, that's the only reason why I called, sir. I mean, I agree with everything you've said from day one, and I'm a constant listener. I've called you a few times, but I haven't kept up with you too much here lately. I've been awful busy, but I just wanted to see how your bride was doing and see how you all were doing then, sir.
My bride has never been better.
That's great. I'm glad to hear, sir. We're praying for y'all.
Yeah, thank you. She had a great nurse at home, Maddie.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Les. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Take care.
So, y'all going to love this. So, you remember they put together the committee assignments in the legislature. And one of the biggest disappointments was that Republicans gave Democrats legislative seats, committee chairs. One of the worst one they gave was a guy named Dustin Miller. He is the head of Health and Welfare chairman. Also, Patrick McMath, who I think was a rhino on a great day. And I don't understand that because that department, man, they got more money to run through that than anywhere. But I said, why would you give power? Remember, I went through all this. We all did. We all got mad. Why would you give power to the Democrats when losing has consequences? You lost. Obama, who I can't stand, who I think is a Marxist on a good day, he's told John McCain, you lost, we won. Get over it. We put Dustin Miller, and we were told, oh, it's no big deal. No big deal. But guess what? There's a joint fundraiser for Senator McMath and Dustin Miller. It's having a big fundraiser reception today. So we got now Republicans helping a woke liberal Democrat guy raise money. We got the Republicans now helping Democrat Dustin Miller. He was the guy that told you, wear your mask and get over it. He was a big Joe Biden guy. Wear your mask. Big Bill Edwards guy. Wear your mask. This guy's a leftist on a great day. He's going to hurt us. I'm not impressed with McMath either. Wait till we got some health care stuff that comes through. But why would a Republican be helping raise money with this liberal, woke Democrat Dustin Miller? Why? Why are you raising money? He lost. But he didn't lose because our Speaker of the House decided to put him in. These are powerful committees, as somebody wrote. Insignificant chairman mob. Boop, boop. He's raising money, and there'll be people lining up to give him money. And he's a leftist. Attaboy, Republicans. That a way to do that. One more call, because I do have a special guest. We will talk about homes and building homes in a second with my friend Paul Schumacher at Schumacher Homes. Let's go to Kevin in Baton Rouge. Kevin, thanks for holding. How you doing, sir?
Mr. Moon, how are you?
I'm doing great. I got up this morning, brother. I'm on a roll.
That's it. Our eyes open. Well, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. You got me all worked up today, like you always do, which I love. But anyway, full disclosure, I'm a Yankee carpetbagger from California, although I do consider myself a Louisianan.
How long you been here?
I've been here,
How long you been
14 years.
Okay,
man.
well, we don't get many to move here, but that's good.
Yeah, I was one of the smart ones. I'm from a little country town in Central California coast, so it's primarily farm town, and I think that's why I love Baton Rouge so much. Is it reminds me of home, little college town, agriculture, engineering, and of course I married a St. Francisville girl, so that'll always do it too, right?
Oh yeah, all the time though. If you'd have told me female at the beginning, I would have known why you here.
Well, hey, anyway, Moon, I can relate to this whole, and I've been kind of following it, but like you've been saying, I haven't done half as much research as I should. I have worked in the film industry for 25 years as an assistant director. So my insurance, which I always thought was fantabulous because the mortality rate for an assistant director is 55 years old. Wow. And it's through my Directors Guild of America network. It's Anthem, but I think they're somehow connected. I recently went through a pretty intense facility mostly for mental health. And I left the facility early because I couldn't even get a call back from my insurance, which was being handled through Blue Cross Blue Shield for these special treatments, I guess. And I was astounded and disappointed. I couldn't get a call back from a case manager, couldn't get anybody to call me back, and so then I started digging a little bit deeper about my insurance, which I always thought was so great through my union. And this kind of has opened my eyes to everything, and I'm very thankful to be in America. And I know we have the best insurance out there because we're not a socialist society. But, it's just like politics, Moon, like you've been saying. It's just there's a lot of shenanigans going on. And I am going to try to dig a little deeper into this because, like I've said before, change can be good. But here in Louisiana, with our lack of confidence, it can also be very bad.
But I just think if you're going to change something, Kevin, have all the facts. That's all. I don't think we have all the facts. I don't think we have a third of the facts on this. And there's a lot of money being passed around and people trying to buy people for votes. And that's not what we need. Not what we need at all. So.
Well, Moon, thank you for all you do, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to do my research and keep on digging.
All right, brother. Thank you. God bless. Thank you for putting up with us. All right, what we're going to do is go ahead and go to the break. Walker, let's go ahead and take a break. Paul Schumacher is going to join us, CEO, president of Schumacher Homes. Building homes, this market, what's going on? Interest rates have changed. Will they go down? But I got a guy right here that can take you from step A to step Z and everything in between. Don't miss this. Paul Schumacher, Schumacher Homes. Take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Folks, I want to tell you about one of my new advertisers, Adapt Concepts AC Service Repairs. Serving all of Acadiana, surrounding areas, and the Gulf of Mexico for over 6 years. Full-service AC and heating company, repairs, installation, and preventive maintenance, which is very, very important. Installation service, professional quality services, focus on creating value for you. Terms of certified technician, 24/7 customer service, and free consultation. I'm talking Adapt Concepts, AC Service Repairs. You want the professionals, you want the best, this is them. Purchase a qualified high-efficient system for maintenance, plus get a free 12-year parts and labor warranty. Wow, don't you want to know about that? Call them at 337-408-8202. That's 337-408-8202. Or go to the website, adapt-ac.com. That's adapt-ac.com. Folks, you hear me brag about a new advertisement. South Star Urgent Care is the name you need to know. Listen, You look up, you're in the middle of the night, you're looking, God, where do we go? South Star Urgent Care. They open on weekends, they open at night, they can get you taken care of. If you're sick, if you're feeling bad, maybe you coughing, dehydrated, fever, flu, fracture, South Star Urgent Care wants to service you, and they're going to treat you like you want to be treated. They're going to get you in, get you out. You're not going to sit in a dark waiting room for a bunch of times. South Star Urgent Care. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. You can register before you go and set your appointment. Hey, it's really cool. These folks at South Star greet you with a genuine smile and make you feel very comfortable. Folks, you're looking for the perfect urgent care? It's South Star Urgent Care. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. South Star Urgent Care. It's the urgent care you need. Go to SouthStarMoon.com, SouthStarMoon.com. When you think about how
Welcome back to the Moon Griffon Show. Moon is off jibber-jabbering once again.
No, it wasn't that bad. Everybody wanted me to know about the big fight last night.
Oh, yeah.
I was informed.
Ringside.
It was not me. But I was ringside. I'll let it go at that anyway. Everybody's going, what is he talking about? If you go check all the papers down to Lafayette, you see what I mean. I just happened to be sitting there watching when the fight broke out on the court, but I was right there at it. Anyway, that was it. It didn't mess up my natural. So I'm good to go. All right, welcome back, Moon Griffon Show. Hey, it is an honor to have Paul Schumacher joins us, CEO and president of Schumacher Homes. He builds homes, and he does a great job, and he's been doing it for over 20 years. Paul, how you doing, bud?
Hey, great, Moon. Hey, thanks for having me back. Always a pleasure being with you.
Paul, I got to get you down live and do a little red fishing. My buddies have been catching them, and you've been wanting to do that, so you have to do it this year. Just make your trip down here. Let me know. I want to get you in the water, and I want to get you to catch a few redfish.
Well, it's definitely on the list. I want to get one with a fly rod, and we've talked about it long enough. It's time to do it.
Yeah,
so,
no doubt about it. Well, anyways, talk a little bit about, everything's in transition, economies, interest rates, and all that stuff. But you guys do a great job, and I want you to take us from the start to the end because y'all really can do it all for people that are looking to build a custom home. You've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, exactly. You think about building a custom home, and it's kind of intimidating. It's kind of scary. It's kind of a complex process. So we've kind of taken all the scary out of it and come up with a process where we guide you through from, the very start. I always tell people, we got to get you in the home exactly the way you want it. And that means customizing it, whatever is most important to your family. We got to start with the way you live and what you want in your home. And then once we get that right, then the next question everyone always asks is, well, how much? And then we have a really good process. We take you through it. Usually it takes about 2 hours. It's free. It's no obligation. We ask you all these questions. And during that, we tell you about the process. We price it out. Everything's individually itemized, so you can literally see where every dollar is spent. And what people always tell me is that was the best couple hours because it's true peace of mind. You understand what the process is and you know what the costs are. And then the next step that makes it really easy that people it can be overwhelming, but it's not, is, we do, everything we do is in a one-stop shop design experience environment, which means you come to our design studio and we guide you through and you make all your selections under one roof. So it takes something that could be kind of daunting and scary, and it makes it fun because this is exactly how you get the home with every fixture and finish that you want. So it really makes it a good building experience.
No, I was going to tell you, some people that have used your service here, since y'all been advertising with us for a while, it was a couple of them. And what they told me, what they really like was y'all set everything up in front of you, everything you can do, the cost and everything. But any adjustments, anything along the way, y'all were walking with them. They weren't just jumping up going, well, I didn't know we had that, because y'all had everything so detailed. So in other words, you stand with them from the start to the end. You're not giving them a price, start billing, and say, hey, we'll talk to y'all when it's over. Y'all actually walk. This is what I was told by at least 2 people that built homes here. That said they actually walked through the process the whole time we were building the house, which made us feel good because they had never built a house before. One of them may have, but one of them didn't build a house before.
Well, I love to hear that, because we really pride ourselves on doing all this work up front. So when we get to the actual building part, you can sit back and relax, and you don't have to be making decisions midway where everyone's stressed out over that. You've already done all the work up front. You've met the entire team. You've made all your selections, so everything's really organized. And it just makes, we've been doing this for 32 years. It just makes it so much better when all your decisions and everything is addressed before you even start construction. It just makes it a way better partnership.
32 years, you've been doing it for a long time, but I just like the fact that what you tell them up front, you're still talking about at the end. But if you have an adjustment or something comes up, y'all right there to tell them. It's not in other words, I know, because we built the house, how stressful it can be. What you're not saying is you're taking away all the stress. What you are saying is you're taking away as much as you can. You want it on y'all because y'all are the professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. People going through the building process, very few people have built a home before, and so you want to guide them step by step, and it's as much as an educational process as anything, but the whole outcome is to make the experience as pleasurable, and the outcome exactly what you want is getting a home, built exactly for you the way you and your family want to live in it.
There's no doubt about it. But now, Paul, Schumacherhomes.com, and you've got, I know in Scott, Louisiana, right here in Acadiana, I think you can build a house basically anywhere in the state, but you got a model home, and you can come and walk and pick out your colors and pick out the kind of home that you want. And I'm sure y'all give them ideas, because some people may walk and say, here we think we know what we want, but when they sit down with y'all, because you have all these professionals, you can kind of maneuver them through what they really want, with their dream home, not yours, theirs.
Exactly. That's why we build these permanent model homes and these permanent design studios, so people can walk through. You can do this online too. It doesn't really replace like being there in person, but a lot of people like to start online, and we offer that. We can do this free obligation pricing meeting. We can do that online and then come in. Some people like to do it that way. Some people are more visual. So either way, and I think the other thing that's really exciting is you mentioned interest rates, and that's been a big, issue of, are rates going up, are rates going down? Who knows? But what we are doing this month only is we are going I'd call it back to the good old days. We're offering a 4.875 30-year fixed.
Wow.
For this month only. And the other thing that's really cool is we are, and probably do this for the first handful of people, we're on top of that, we're offering what's called a 2-1 buy down, which means your first year of your mortgage, it's going to be at 2.875. Your second year, it's 3.875. And then after that, third year and beyond, it locks in at 4.875. So it's really kind of going back to, back in history, which is a short history because the rates were, really good in the past, but now we're in a different time. So this is kind of a good way to go back and take advantage of where we are today.
But, Paul, even with the times we're in, I don't know, you working in different states is probably better in some states, not as good in others. But I got to believe that still building your home is still a dream of a lot of people. And no matter what the interest rates always matter. I don't have to tell you that. Buying vehicles and buying homes, interest rates matter. When you come in with an introduction like that, I would think people would jump up and down and say, hey, I'm going to still build my home. This is a pretty good interest rate.
it's a good interest rate. In the most important thing, when you build a custom home, you're getting exactly a home for you. There's no compromises. When you go out, we always kind of laugh. We call it the used home market, but it's true. Like, these homes were designed and built for a different generation with different people in mind. A custom home is built for one person in mind, and that's the beauty of it, in getting exactly what you want, how you want to live, everything that's important to you and your family. So that's the huge appeal of building.
I first started advertising us many years ago. I had somebody say, yeah, I know them. I think that's the people. You go there and they got homes you can choose from, and you only can get, they got 3 or 4 models. And I said, I don't know who you're talking about. I said, Schumacher Homes. I said, it's Schumacher Homes. And look, I didn't been with them. I didn't visit them. I've been to their place. A guy that actually builds homes for them built my home. I said, hold up just a second. They're talking about building your custom home. There's nowhere on the brochure that said, hey, come in and choose one of our custom built homes. Not what y'all say, but I had to tell it because they confuse y'all with somebody else.
No, that's a good point. Again, it kind of goes back to, people haven't gone through this process. So you go on our website, we have probably 70, 80 homes you can start with, but that's just a starting point. You can change it on the inside, you can change it on the outside, if you bring pictures in, whatever's most important to you. We're going to really focus on the plan, exactly how you want it, before we even move forward with the pricing and all that. So you can feel really good. You're going to get the exact plan, how you want it for your family, no compromises.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's simple, SchumacherHomes.com. You can go through the process on the internet to start, but eventually you want to sit down with your folks because they can take you through the whole process. You're going to feel better. I've met a lot of you people before here in areas in the state, and when you meet them, you're going to feel better about what they're doing.
Thank you, Moon. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm just telling you, there were just so many good people. Professional, smart, good people. That's what you're looking for. You want people you communicate with. Anyway, Paul, got to run, man. I do appreciate it, man. God bless you. And I hope people looking to build a custom home would check y'all out.
All right, Moon. Thanks, and have a good one.
All right, well, come catch some fish with me. I don't mind taking you.
I like that.
All right. Paul Schumacher Homes. Thank you, Paul. All right, folks, got to take a break. Got another great guest. Isaac Brooks joins us. You don't want to miss that either. ESGs, banking, all that next.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.
The Angel of the Hour sponsor is
Fisher Early Childhood Development Center is now registering for summer and fall 2024. Give your child the foundation they deserve. Learn more at FisherPreschool.com, educating Acadiana's children for over 60 years.
Hi, I'm Dale Brown, best-selling techno-thriller author. I'm also a mission pilot and squadron commander in the Civil Air Patrol. The members of the Civil Air Patrol are volunteer professionals who serve their communities and their nation every day with emergency services, aerospace education, and cadet programs. We train hard, we fly hard, and we get the job done for America. Join the Civil Air Patrol. Visit www.gocivilairpatrol.com and let's go flying.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Financial Studio.
He takes full responsibility. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says he should have told the president and the public about his prostate cancer.
The news shook me, and I know that it shakes so many others, especially in the black community. It was a gut punch. And frankly, my first instinct was to keep it private.
He says there were no gaps in authority during his hospitalization, that either he or his deputy secretary were always in control, but that he apologized directly to the president and that he missed an opportunity to encourage men to get screened and have regular checkups. Austin's also reiterating the president's message the U.S. will respond to the attack by an Iran-made drone that killed 3 American soldiers in Jordan. There have been reports of Iran proxy fighters leaving areas that might be hit.
We will have a multi-tiered response, and again, we have the ability to respond a number of times, depending on what the situation is.
President Biden offering prayers for the American soldiers killed during the National Prayer Breakfast, also praying for peace in the Middle East.
I'm engaged in this day and night, and working, as many of you in this room are, to find the means to bring our hostages home, to ease the humanitarian crisis, and to bring peace to Gaza and Israel, and enduring peace with 2 states for 2 peoples.
Congressional leaders also attending the annual breakfast, even as finger-pointing continues over border security talks. A ruling just in from the Oregon Supreme Court that 10 Republican state senators who staged a record 6-week walkout last year can't run for re-election. That walkout aimed at stalling bills on a variety of issues. Today's ruling upholds a decision from the Secretary of State based on a voter-approved measure disqualifying lawmakers with too many absences. America is listening to Fox News.
Born on America's darkest day of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping America's heroes ever since. People who put their lives on the line for our country and our communities need your help now more than ever. Join Tunnel to Towers on its mission to do good in their honor. Never forget 9/11 or the sacrifices of this country's heroes and their families. Join me in donating $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-887-1010. That's 800-887-1010.
Scheme to provide illegal immigrants with fake IDs is busted up in Illinois.
Chicago authorities arrested 3 men from Mexico accused of directing illegal migrants to steal from retail stores and exchange stolen goods for fake identification cards. Cook County deputies got tipped off by migrants they arrested and then went undercover, serving a search warrant and finding 500 fake IDs, a wad of cash, and a ledger detailing exchanges. Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart says the migrants, mostly from Venezuela, often stole just enough merchandise to obtain a fake ID so they could secure a job. In Chicago, Nate Foy, Fox News.
Some countrywide blockades are ending in France. 2 major farmers' unions announcing tangible progress with the government to address their concerns, including pay and regulation. However, activists snarling traffic around Paris say they'll wait to see that in writing. There's another warning about eye drops.
The Food and Drug Administration's out with a warning that some so-called copycat eye products could put users at risk of eye infection. Some of the unapproved eye drops even claim to treat conditions such as glaucoma, which is actually treated with prescription drugs or surgery. On the list of eye drops to avoid, South Moon, Rebright, and Fiv Go, which the FDA says lack the active ingredient found in Lumify drops, but could easily be mistaken for the Bausch & Lomb product approved to ease redness. Scientists also say they found a bacteria in South Moon samples that could cause antibiotic-resistant eye infections. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
The FDA issuing multiple warnings about contaminated eye products over the past year. The final NFL head coaching vacancy might be filled. Sources telling AP the Washington Commanders have a deal to hire Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn. Stocks rebound. The Dow's up 180. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. You can always find people who are helping. Thank you to all the first responders who put their lives in danger to help us when my brothers and sisters and mom and dad and grandpa and grandma need them.
Thank you, first responders.
This is what I signed up for as a first responder. I am constantly worried about being exposed to this virus and potentially bringing it back to my home and my family. I'm going to continue going to work day in and day out and providing help to those that need it.
We look out for the helpers because they look out for us. Thank you, first responders. Thank you, first responders. Thank you, first responders. Love you. Mwah.
Be safe, look after yourself, and look after one another. Thanks.
Let's show up for first responders and their families. Go to firstrcf.org to find out how you can help today.
I had an important job. And it wasn't just a job, it was keeping my brothers and sisters safe. And coming back, it felt like kind of thrown away. It's like you're useless. You know, we don't really have a need for you now because you can't really do anything for us. That's the way I felt. If it hadn't been for Wounded Warrior Project, I honestly don't know if I would be here. It was the camaraderie that I saw and had. It was like I got my family back again. We all felt the connection, you know, like that brother and sisterhood.
See how Wounded Warrior Project empowers women veterans like Donna by visiting woundedwarriorproject.org/empowerwomenvets.
South Louisiana's biggest St. Patrick's Day celebration is back. Patty in the Park, Saturday, March 16th at Park International, downtown Lafayette, presented by Bud Light, featuring The Good Dudes, 337, DJ Digital, and the People's Champ, Paul Law.
What it do is Power Wow, and I'm the People's Champ.
Tickets go on sale Monday, February 5th at eventbrite.com and all Legends locations.
Enter for your chance to win. Open up the KPEL app and hit the Patty in the Park button now.
This hour brought to you by Restoration One of Lafayette, your local expert for water, fire, and mold remediation. Call 337-RESTORE now and let them get your home back to its original glory.
The Angel of the Hour sponsor is
Patacon Latin Cuisine, a Venezuelan restaurant in Lafayette. Visit them online at pataconlatincuisine.com for their amazing catering, dining, dessert menu, and more, located on Bertrand Drive.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Drive time, Joe Cunningham, 5 to 6. Mark Levin, and of course, the great one. And then we have our friends at American Ground Radio. All right, back by popular demand. Of course, I'm the only one that demanded it. American Energy Institute CEO and founder Jason. I'm sorry, I demanded you come back, and you came back quick. You've been on this program so much in the last week. I'm going to be charging you soon.
No, I love it. It's great to come on and talk about how I live a high carbon lifestyle.
Yeah,
the world should too.
Well, I know I try to do as much carbon as I possibly can, and I can't wait to watch Hurricane wipe out windmills. I think that would be like a movie, can't miss movie band. I would love to see it happen, and it will happen soon because we idiotic enough to do it. Anyway, look, I appreciate you coming back, and you got a lot of information. I wanted to bring you back. We're going to jump gears a little bit. You had mentioned it, but we didn't get into it. And it's dealing with the ESG policies in agriculture, the ESG policies and everything. And I want you to stop, Jason, and explain, because I just think you never know who's listening. What are the ESGs and where this craziness is coming from so people can understand the basics?
Sure. Yeah, Moon, ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. I think what it does to food and fuel is make it expensive, scarce, and government controlled. But it's essentially a social credit scoring for businesses. You jaywalk, you get penalized. You buy the wrong thing, you get penalized. You can't have money if you want to buy guns or food or fuel that's produced in this country more responsibly than anywhere else on the planet. And it's being pushed from these globalist elites at the World Economic Forum, at the United Nations. We've seen the terror that the United Nations has inflicted upon people the last couple of weeks, how their employees have actually gone out and committed atrocities against Israel. We need to defund the UN. We need to defund the World Economic Forum. We need to embrace capitalism and our representative republic like we have here in this country. We've got to stop these globalist elites from pushing their ideology down to us. But it's ideology they're not willing to embrace themselves. They want to try to decarbonize us. We're the carbon they want to get rid of.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think you exactly 100% right. You know, it's a shame we set the standard in this world of what a free country should look like. But we are now running to be like countries that you and me don't want no part of. That's what frustrates me, because if people realize what was going on with all this stuff with the Green New Deal, which is the biggest hoax ever put on us, it's the biggest lie that's ever been put on us. And it's so frustrating, Jason, because we ought to be the country everybody's running to be like. But to take us down, we got to become like them. They can't beat us if we don't become like them. They cannot touch us if we don't become like them.
No, you're absolutely right. There is not a high carbon country that is poor. You look at wealth and energy use. Rich countries, wealthy countries use a lot of energy, and we can help those countries become wealthier. You've got these developing countries around the world. There's 3.5 billion people that have very limited or no access to electricity at all. And where can they get that energy? They can get it from LNG exported from Louisiana and Texas and the Gulf of Mexico. Energy is produced more responsibly than anywhere else. And what happens? The Biden administration says, "Nah, we're going to kill this." Over a dozen LNG liquefaction terminals that create thousands of jobs and billions of dollars in economic revenue for our country and for people in this country. It creates great paying jobs. You look in Europe, 70% of their fertilizer factories are no longer producing fertilizer.
70%?
And this is because this is increasing the cost of food, and the feedstock is natural gas. And they can't get that natural gas from Russia. They should be getting it from Louisiana.
Well, I made a call actually to Mr. Biles in the Chemicals Plant Association, asking him about this, and he told me he didn't know anything about it. I was kind of puzzled a little bit, because I wanted to talk to somebody in that business. If they get rid of 70% of the fertilizer in Europe, and that's what these farmers and everybody are so upset about, how do we eat? When that happens here, how do we eat in this country?
Well, it's going to be really difficult, and I think this is part of the plan. They're very Malthusian. They think that humans are the problems, and they're trying to get rid of us. I mean, this is directly from the World Economic Forum. They're trying to take the fertilizer out of food to reduce nitrogen oxide emissions. Give me a break. What happens with fertilizer is you increase food production. You know, and we've got a perfect example of this. In 2019, Sri Lanka, a country right off of the coast of India, was actually experiencing prosperity for the first time in their existence. And why? Because they were exporting agriculture products, rice, tea, becoming wealthy. They elected a president who ran as the first ever net zero president candidate on the face of the earth. And then he implemented his, and they had the highest ESG rating of any country, mind you. And he implements his ESG policies and says, we're no longer going to use nitrogen or fossil fuel-based fertilizer. They banned it. They wouldn't let people import it, wouldn't use it. Food production went down 40% in 1 year. Cost went up 80%. No hunger before. Today, 9 in 10 families in Sri Lanka suffer from hunger on a daily basis.
But think about that. Why do the people, Jason, why do the people in the United States of America think this is not happening here? Because it is. This is exactly the same craziness. All of this stuff is a lie. All of it's crazy. Why would we adopt crazy? I mean, we don't want our kids to do better than we did. We don't want them to feed. Cheap food, cheap energy. I mean, you've talked about it before, is the key. But how does the ESGs figure in this?
Well, what's happened is the general public has been led to believe that we're in a catastrophic climate crisis, and the only solution to get out of it is to decarbonize, to remove CO2 from the atmosphere, which, by the way, is 0.04% of our atmosphere. And numerous studies keep coming out year after year, but the media buries these under the lead. They won't share this information, that our planet's actually greening with more CO2. We're growing more food on more crops, but that's not what people are learning, and that's what I'm trying to change is the general population. But you got over 50% of the kids that suffer from eco-anxiety because they're getting scared from their teachers and the media that they listen to, and TikTok is influencing them, and that's poisonous right there. Yeah. So we've got a long haul to go, but fortunately this week 12 agriculture commissioners asked 6 banks about their policies regarding ESG. It's banks like JPM Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citi. These large banks are potentially denying access to capital to farmers and ranchers around this country if they don't meet their ESG goals. So it's like if you want to borrow money for your farm to keep it afloat, you've got to bend the knee to ESG. And what that ultimately leads to is less production of food and fuel.
Man, I don't understand. Let me ask you this question. Are y'all trying to get to these universities and colleges? Because every time I was reading one laughing the other day about this young environmentalist. Remember, environmentalist has mental in it. And there's a mental problem. That's what I think. But that's what I think when I saw mental, and I said, this is right. These people are crazy. But anyway, these young people. They were talking about
anxiety is a mental illness. It is.
It's no doubt about it.
Is.
No doubt. But these people were talking about how young people are making a movement to fight global warming. Yeah, the brainwashed college students. That's who's being brainwashed on this.
Yeah, I'll tell you, some of my work at the Texas Public Policy Foundation is we've been instrumental in changing the science textbooks that are used in public schools, not only in Texas. I'm actually sitting at my desk right now reviewing 4th grade curriculum for science and kind of removing some of the bias against affordable, reliable energy in this country, removing some of the bias against agriculture. And so the kids will get the information in an unbiased format and they can make up their minds for themselves. But fortunately, they're going to learn things about energy density, the cost-benefit analysis. They're going to learn about energy poverty and how countries around the world that do suffer from poverty, it's because of energy poverty, because they don't have access to things like propane and natural gas and oil and nuclear energy, those good, dense forms of energy that, again, we produce here more responsibly than anywhere else on the planet.
No doubt about it. It's not even close. Jason Isaac, American Energy Institute. Jason, let me I'm going to take a break just a second, but listen. This ESG stuff has a lot to do with the banks. And if you don't get a good ESG score, I guess they won't lend money to you. If you're tied to oil and gas, I guess you won't get money. Will it come a day when I drive up to the bank and go, hey, I want a bank, and say, well, we can't bank with you anymore? I said, why? You have a combustion engine. We don't do business with people, and I want to buy a new vehicle, and I want a combustion engine. We're not going to let you borrow any money to buy a vehicle on your combustion engine. We will sell you if you'll buy an electric one. Will it become that ludicrous before this is over?
It already is. You're already there in European countries that have credit cards that are tied to your carbon footprint, and they cut you off when you exceed your carbon footprint. Yep. You can see all the cameras that are being cut down around the United Kingdom because if you're driving an internal combustion engine, they're charging you fees. I mean, it's funny, the bandits that are going there and cutting all these cameras down. It's here in the United States, too. I've talked to an oil and gas producer in Texas which is funny because Saturday Night Live, which I haven't watched in decades, has this skit of making fun of President Trump because he used this term called debanking, which they act like these global elites that live in New York City, so self-righteous, they had never heard of debanking. But it actually has happened to energy and food producers in this country, and that's why these 12 agriculture commissioners are right to ask these banks about their policies. I wrote the first bill that became law in Texas, the first law in this country that pushed back against these woke financial institutions. It says if you're going to boycott fossil fuels, then you can no longer do business with the state of Texas. And it's impacted companies like BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street, these big financial institutions that manage over $20 trillion of assets. And you look at who some of their companies they invest in, Chase Bank, Bank of America. They're large shareholders of these companies. So they're pushing this World Economic Forum global will down through their companies. It's an illegal cartel. We've got attorneys generals governors, lieutenant governors, and now agriculture commissioners going against these financial institutions to ensure our freedoms.
We actually be back on some down here. Let me take a break. Jason Isaac, my special guest, American Energy Institute. We come back, ask him a few more Q&As, and we'll let him get out of here. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.